Yes, sir. You already know what it is. It's another episode of the AWOL podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment below on your thoughts on this episode. Hit that like button. Don't forget to email the awolpod@gmail.com. You already seen the links prior to this. Hit me up. Still ain't get that burner phone, but I'm going to work on that. I bet. Thank you for being here again. I'm out here. I got some notes this time. Probably the second time so far. All right. I want to discuss First Amendment audits, right? There's a thing that people do on the internet, which if I had lawyer money like that, and if I ain't have nowhere to go the next day, I probably would do it. But I ain't trying to go down and spend some time in the clinks and have to call a lawyer to get me out. But First Amendment audits, more or less, are when people with a video camera go out to public buildings, government buildings, anywhere that's funded by the taxpayer. That's a public building. And once again, I'm not a lawyer. This ain't legal advice. So if you do something that you heard here and you get hemmed up, it's not on me, bro. Do your research. Learn your laws. Read a book while they're still around. But First Amendment audits are when people go with a video camera into a government building or a public building, let's say, funded by the taxpayer, and record public officials within the duty of their job. Now, when it comes to First Amendment, it's kind of lengthy. It's a lot of these amendments are wordy. They're real wordy, right? Where you go, they knew what they did when they wrote them, but they're wordy. Now, First Amendment, everybody thinks of it as just freedom of speech, but then there's also freedom of press. I am my own press. Freedom of press is me. I don't need a badge. I don't need to work for an actual media company. I am my own press. I'm an independent journalist, hence the term independent. So it's freedom of speech, but that comes with a caveat. For example, they love to throw out the normal one. You can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater, obviously. You cannot incite violence. You cannot give out verbal threats of violence. You might say, what is that? You can't say, you. I got to wait the first 5 minutes before I go in because of the algorithm. But you can't say, yo, you. Nah, bro. That's a threat of violence. Can't do that. And there's a couple of more nuances that you can't do. Social media kind of threw a little monkey wrench into the shit because you can't dox nobody. I can't put out your address on the internet. That's crazy. That's called doxing. Then the other parts that are a little suspect is you can't dead name. Dead name is, if you don't know, and more or less, once again, I'm just rambling here, but to my understanding, dead naming is when somebody transitions from, let's say, he to her, and it went from Bruce to Caitlin. You could no longer call her Bruce because that name is now dead. If you do that, social media companies will, I guess, censor or ban your page because they're a private company. That's not public. See, that's the thing. That's an argument back and forth on that when it comes to First Amendment. Are these companies private? Which they are, but should they be considered public because they sway elections? Everybody's free. We don't got to pay to get on there, right? So it's almost like a community meeting, more or less. But that's that. So you got First Amendment free speech with a couple of caveats that you can't do or say certain things, which I respect. Then there's freedom of press. Then there's, I'm able to record any public official while he is on duty. He or she or they, them, non-binary, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, plus numbers, symbols, all of that. As long as they're performing their duty and they're on the job, which is a public servant. That term is derogatory. I'm going to get into that in a second. But it's derogatory to some, but that's actually what your job title is. You're serving the public servant. Sorry if you don't like how it sounds. But take that to your union and have them change it. But then that's back to they, them, he, she, whatever. So I'm allowed to record any public official, cop, whatever, as long as I'm in public. If I'm in public, I can go there. There's a public forum, Google that, public forum, and then there's a non-public forum. A non-public forum is still a public place per se, but it comes with a little bit of a, they could almost write some policies or whatever to kind of make that not open to the public, even though it's public, and they want to use the HIPAA rule, safety, all that other stuff. So that's First Amendment. Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizures of personal effects, property, papers, etc. You cannot just come and walk into my house without a warrant. You can't do that. You need a warrant or probable cause, which is reasonable suspicion of a crime has been done or will be committed or witnessed by somebody that saw the crime, more or less. That's fourth. You can't just get a warrant willy-nilly. You can't do that. Shout out Richard Nixon, Watergate. He knows what it is. Wiretaps. Bang. Got him. Fifth Amendment. You cannot be forced to self-incriminate yourself in a trial. You can't be double jeopardy. You can't be tried twice for a crime that you were found innocent of. But I think that only involves criminal or capital charges. I forgot. There's a little weird shit there. I forgot what it is. But I don't think the people, aka the state, cannot try you twice. As far as your appeal, that's a different story. Right? If you can't just get an appeal because you said, I didn't like how the first trial went as a defendant. You can go ineffective counsel where your lawyers were trash. You can provide new witnesses, bang, or new evidence that wasn't presented at the first trial. So that's all that other shit as far as your appeal process. But I believe as the people/government cannot try you twice for the same crime unless it's a mistrial. Then they can, or they could choose not to, because they never had a good case to begin with, whatever. So with all that said, like I said, I'm not a lawyer. Don't get hemmed up on my behalf. I already said it here. There's a disclaimer. And there'll be one in the description too. So don't try to, I'm about to sign my own waiver. So now, First Amendment audits. People go into buildings and record. I love it, right? I love it. If I have the right to do something, if we have the right to do something, we should exercise those rights. I understand. I talked to a couple of my homies that wear a badge in different type of law enforcement, but whatever. And surprisingly enough, I think I stated my point as good as I can to make them go, I get what you're saying, but I don't like it. And I respect that. You don't have to like it. But as long as you understand that we have the right to do it. Because if you don't use your rights, you lose your rights. We already seen what happened with the pandy. They were like, oh, you got to get this to get on a plane. You got to wear this to get on a plane. You got to get this to keep your job. Right? And the same people that were telling us that are the same people that go out there and yo, my body, my choice. So what is it? Let me not go off on a tangent because that's another solo joint. So we have the right to record. So I'll talk to my homies and I explain to them, we have the right to do this. As long as you do not go into restricted areas, employees only, private property, right? Some people mistake Walmart as a public property because the public can go. It's still a private company. If Walmart asks you to leave and never come back and they trespass you from that property, you can no longer go back to at least that Walmart. And if your actions were egregious enough, Walmart could, I think, potentially ban you from every Walmart. I don't know if they're franchise or not, corporation, but I think they could ban you from every Walmart. But that's a private company. A government building, a sidewalk, we pay for that. Our taxes pay for that. So as long as I'm on the sidewalk, I can record. I can go into a government building and record. I can go into the clerk's office, the lobby, the county commissioner. I could, the attorney general. I could go into all of those. The district attorney. I should be the mayor's. Maybe not his personal office, unless it's stated restricted access only. But what mayor would put that on his door? Because it sounds crazy. That's not good politics. A mayor's like, damn, that sign seems divisive a little bit, like I'm better than y'all. So he's not going to put that sign there. So since the sign isn't there, because he's worried about how how it looks, it's technically open. It has to be stated, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, I'm going to talk mad shit right now. Don't hold me to it, bro. I'm going off the top of the dome. I just got bullet points. See what I'm saying? I'm going off the top. So we can record there. My thing is with audits, when you watch them, there's two type of people that do these audits. It's the people that are egging people on, like we'll call them the auditor. Yeah, that's what they are. The auditor sometimes behaves in a manner that I don't like. It's because, man, we're trying to prove a point here. But when you go in there all aggressive and you're baiting the cops and you're baiting the security guard at the front desk, like, you ain't going to do nothing. I'm allowed to be here. Fuck you. And mind you, you can curse. Freedom of speech. As long as you don't threaten them or talk, like I said, in fighting words. That's how it was written. I believe the Supreme Court said fighting words or threats of violence. I could say whatever I want. There could be a cop in a traffic stop and I could go, fuck you. He can't do anything. As long as I'm not impeding his duties, I'm not in his way. I'm over here, man, and I'm on a public sidewalk. I could go, fuck you. There's people that do that. And I don't like that because that's unnecessary. I understand we got our issues with cops. That's not what this is. Partially. But you get more bees with honey, if you catch what I'm saying. You can do that. Sure. Yeah. Obviously you can do that. But why do that if you're trying to prove a point? Exercise your right in a regular manner, in a proper manner. So therefore, if a situation ever comes up where you end up have your rights taken away or your freedom taken away, and this is all recorded, you kept it professional, cordial, you did nothing wrong, you violated no laws, and you were peaceful. Don't forget, you get judged by a jury of your peers. Nobody likes an asshole, even if the asshole is right. Nobody likes that person. So don't be that person. But now if a jury of your peers, which is another thing that I want to get into one of these days, court systems and the whole judicial system and all that other stuff. But anyway, be nice about it. So you got the asshole auditors. I don't like them. My boys don't like them. I don't like them. I'm not even a cop, but I don't like them. Fuck you, bro. You're doing too much. You're doing too much, man. But then there's the dudes, and there's probably 1 out of a million that are nice. AKA Long Island Audit. That's his YouTube channel. He got 500,000 subscribers. He don't need my shout out. But go watch Long Island Audit. Not only is he respectful, he follows up. He does his FOIA request, which is Freedom of Information Act. You can request body cams. And if there's a camera in your police station or a government building, since it's in a public building, and we pay our taxes for that, you can even FOIA request the security cameras inside of a public building. DMV, post office, police station, city hall, anything public. You can FOIA request even the security cameras for whatever date. You don't even got to be there. Go to the clerk's office, ask for a FOIA form, fill it out. There's a cop you don't like? You think he treated you bad? You're not going to win a trial on the street. All this, let's fight it out on the street, get your hand. No. I know it's crazy. Take the L, go down, get a public defender for now, at least to get you out. You have the right to that. And then hopefully you got some money and get yourself a real lawyer. And for your request, all that. So then you got the nice guys. That is what I'm saying. If you watch his channel, this shit is dope. So I asked my homies and I told them, hey, if we have the right to do it, they're like, we don't like the assholes. I'm like, me neither. We agree there. I was like, what about the guys that are nice? And they were like, yeah, even though you're being cool, why do it? Now, I'm like, that ain't the point. And they think it's like, oh, you just want a reaction and this and that. You want a reaction and that and blah. I'm like, I don't think so. A lot of them, most of them, 98% of them do. They annoy me and I like what they're doing. But the ones that do it good, they're doing it good. So I fucks with them. So yeah, he has the right to do it and he does it, but he does it in a good way. So yeah, then let him do it. Why is it this, let me say, bang, yeah, we're on that one, right? I understand their points, and I do. And at first they didn't understand what I was saying, and then they came around and they were like, I get it. If they're respectful and they do it good, word, that's no problem. But it always comes back to the, but why? But why shouldn't even be a question that you are asking, right? Because next one on the list, you chose to be a public servant, whether that's a cop, trooper, correctional officer, you work in the clerk's office, whatever. You chose to get this job. Nobody forced you to work here. If you do not know the criteria of your job, do not apply for that job. Son, that's crazy. I'm a truck driver. I got to get a physical every 2 years. Imagine I don't get one. I get pulled over and they're like, yo, fam, where's your physical? I go, what? They're not going to go, oh, my bad, you ain't know. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. They're not going to say, you good, fam, just go to the consensual, do your physical and put it on your license, DMV. No, bro, get the fuck out the truck and stop whipping. That's what they're going to say. So you cannot get a public job and then go, you're not allowed to be here. You can't record here. What are you talking about? Yes, I can. You don't know the Constitution? You work for the government. This isn't Walmart, like I said. This is not I get amped up. Let me take a sip of water before I get amped up. You know why I get amped up? Because the ignorance is wild. Because I think it's more of a power trip. They know what it is. They know what it is. But like I said, I'm not getting locked up and I don't got Johnny Cochran money to get a lawyer that's gonna, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got time for that. So they know that. So they're like, we're gonna power trip. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Soon as you cannot tell me you get a badge that you don't feel that power. That is impossible. We already know the Stanford experiment, even though they say that was a little sketchy, right? But we already know what power does. So when you walk in this building, they see you with a camera, they think that they could just tell you anything. And I'm like, nah. But you chose to be a cop. You chose to have that government position. This is what comes with the territory. If you don't like it, quit. Quit. Don't tell me I don't have a right to defend my rights. The same rights that you, as a public servant, swore an oath to. You can't put your hand up and swear to it and then not uphold what you were supposed to do. That's not how it works. I understand it's annoying and whatever. Leave me the fuck alone. If somebody put a camera in my face, I'll be tight too, right? But I already know what I signed up for. And as long as you're doing everything by the books, what am I going to do, bro? Right? It makes no sense. It makes no sense that they swore an oath to it, but then forget it real quick. Yeah. What's up? My 401k, pension, tint my windows, carry my gun around. You know what I mean? Get out of speeding tickets. Shorties love the uniform. Don't act like there aren't no perks, and don't get it twisted. This is another thing. So, hold on. So, right, don't act like you did not know what you signed up for. Flip side of that. I'm a steel man their side as if I was a cop. First of all, as a cop, mind you, steel manning here. Most cops got PTSD. They might not want to admit it or whatever, but let's be honest here. A lot of people that talk shit about cops don't walk in their shoes. First of all, nobody likes them. Let's be honest. Everything they do is under a microscope, as it should be, but it is. You do not walk up to a car accident on the highway and see dead little ones from a car crash. You don't do that. You might see it in a movie, and even movies don't show you that shit. This is real life. A cop has to walk up to that car and see that. Either they're already gone, and if they have kids, imagine staring at a 5-year-old that's gone. Meanwhile, yours is at the house, and you think that does not take a toll on a human being? You are bugging. You are bugging if you think that's not it. Bugging. That job is hard. You don't know anytime you walk up to somebody's car if it's going to be the last pullover you do. Yeah, tinted windows. Yeah, they might come up to the car a little hot, tinted windows. How did I know? Or how did I, whatever. If somebody was in a back seat just waiting on me, you don't think I'm like on edge? And I get it. Well, if you're scared, don't be one. It ain't about being scared. We got to be real here. Don't tell me if you go to the hood, if you go to Camden, Patterson, whatever, the Bronx, Compton, you telling me you don't walk through that neighborhood like, yo, be on point, B, because this might be, it can get dangerous out here. We all do that. Imagine doing that every day as their job. It ain't about if you're scared, don't be one. They're not scared, but they still have to go, let me be on my shit. Because at any moment, this can go real bad. And I got a wife and kids I'm trying to get home to. So we got to understand that the job is hard. That's why the auditors that go in there and go, fuck you. Shut up, bro. You ain't walking the line like that. So that's that. Cops need to understand that they took this job on their own fruition, their own free will. They chose this. Nobody forced them to do this job. So do the job and accept what comes with the paycheck. For those that don't like them, cool, whatever. Understand that the job ain't easy. Anytime you run into a cop, it's probably a bad day. You're having a bad day. You never call the cops and go, hey, what's up, man? I just want you to come to my crib because I'm barbecuing. No, you call them because you're like, somebody broke in, somebody stole my whip. You never call a cop when you're in a good mood. Never happens. Never happens. So that's that. Now you know where I see both sides. So I steel manned it. I did my point. Now we have a little thing called de-escalation. A lot of times when you run into these officials, whether it be a cop or, like I said, the county clerk or the clerk's office or the mayor, whoever, or the security guard or the head of legal, they come down on 1,000 already. You can't be here. Get out of here. I'm going to call the cops and blah, blah, blah. And you don't know how many videos I watch, regardless if the auditors are assholes or not. When a real police department comes up that knows the Constitution, that they swore the oath to, they come in and go, hey, he's not disrupting business. He has the right to be here. So bye. They tell you don't go into any restricted areas. Don't go into no courtrooms. Don't fill the courtrooms. Don't go to the child floor, which is still allowed. But once again, good auditors don't go. They don't go to the child floor. Ain't nobody want to go up to family court. We don't want to do that. That ain't the point. Even though you have the right to, but have some decency. The cops come and whatever, and you out. The bad cops come, once again, they escalated already. You can't be here, blah, 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 all this other, they try to debo. They get the power, absolute power. So now they come in, try to sling their power around. That's crazy. Instead of coming in, what are you doing here? You have every right to ask me what I am doing here. The same way the employees have the right to call the cops. They may be wrong. They should know that I'm legally allowed to do this in most circumstances. But if they feel threatened, hey, no problem. Call the officials. Who cares? I don't care. I'm not doing anything wrong. So call them. But when they come here, they should go, what are you doing? First Amendment, freedom of press. I'm in a public building. Anything that's accessible to the public, I can film. Whatever, and they go, all right, did you go into any areas? No. Did you harass anybody? No. All right, let me go find out if you did or did it. Bang, go check security cameras. Oh, he did. Well, this is what it is. He can do this. Bye. But they come in at 1,000. You can't be here. Who the fuck? Who are you? And then they go, what's your name? What's my name? I don't have to give you my name. You work for me. What's your name? I didn't come up to you. You came up to me and started talking. So before I continue this conversation, aka Fifth Amendment, and incriminate myself in something, even though I'm doing nothing wrong. That's why if you get hemmed up by the cops, shut your mouth, ask for a lawyer. Don't worry about it. You're going to have to go in. You're going to have to go in. They might take you down, or they might be like, fuck, he knows his shit, let him go. And if they really got something on you, they'll get you later. Or if they don't and they act like they do, they hem you up, that's a lawsuit or complaints filed in the future. You're not going to win a trial on the streets. Stop it. This ain't the movies, bro. This ain't the movies. You're not going to fight 5 cops with badges. You can't, but it ain't going to work out good for you. Take the L, take the rod, and you figure it out later. Ask for a lawyer and keep your mouth shut, even if you ain't doing anything. And you're 1,000% think I could talk my way out of this. No, you are not. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. And we already know that the court is crooked. So therefore, shut your mouth, ask for a lawyer. But they come out at 1,000. As long as you keep it cool, which is super hard to do because you're like, bro, I can't be here. Once again, when you get judged by a jury of your peers, if you keep it cool, they're going to go, damn, that could have been me. What the fuck is wrong with them? Keep it cool. De-escalation is the key. If they come at 1,000, try to keep it low. Try to, as hard as it is. But that's anything. In a traffic stop, okay, cool. Maybe the cop has it out for you. And he's hitting you with tints and the stupid air freshener and you were speeding. And first of all, don't break any laws. Not try not to. Don't break any laws. Feel me? Stop at a stop sign. Fully. Put your seatbelt on. How easy is that? Put your seatbelt on. Stop at the stop sign. Whatever. And give them less reasons. If you start giving them reasons, that's on you, fam. I don't know what to tell you. Right? What else we got here? Another thing they like to use is there's sensitive information here. Once again, I'm not a lawyer, but from what I understand, in public, the eyes cannot trespass. So, if I am outside staring somewhere, you cannot, as long as I'm in a public space, not private, public sidewalk, the eyes cannot trespass. So if you got a fence up that's private property or restricted access, but I'm on a public sidewalk and I could look through the fence, you cannot get me for trespassing because the eyes cannot trespass. Because at that point, where do you draw the line? 4 feet, 2 feet, don't look over here. That's wild. So if the eyes cannot trespass, neither can a camera. I can film what I can see with my eyes. That's it. I can film what I can see with my eyes. The eyes cannot trespass. They always go with, oh, but there's sensitive information back there. I understand that your office is a restricted area, but there's glass walls. It's a glass window that I come in without a camera and come ask you for information. I can see your computer without a camera. I can see your computer. What happens if I got photographic memory? You fucked up because I can see your computer. Whether my eyes can see it or my camera can see it, I'm in a public area. It is not on me to protect that information. You work for the public. If there is sensitive information beyond that clear window, it is the public servant's job to protect that information, not mine, because my eyes cannot trespass. I cannot go back there and turn your computer around so nobody can see it. That is you. Whoever designed the cubicles and put the computers to where I can see it from here, that's your fault. Same thing with HIPAA, which is health information. Damn, what is HIPAA? HIPPA. Health Information Protocol something act, whatever. It's Privacy Act for your health information. People go, hey, you can't stand outside of this clinic because there's sensitive information back there. First of all, I'm in a public area. I am not a medical official. I cannot violate HIPAA. Only people giving me medical attention that are responsible for my files and information can violate the HIPAA law, which was written in 1996. The act came in 1996 for protection of your health information. They're the only ones that can violate that. If I'm in a public restricted access, I fucked up. Public area, if I can see somebody's medical record, I didn't violate HIPAA. I never swore an oath to it. I don't think you swear an oath to HIPAA, but it might be in your oath as far as your good behavior and everything else when you become certified in the medical field. If I'm not mistaken, you swear good practices. There you go, good practices. That's on you to protect that, not me. So don't tell me get away, because therefore, if that's the case, then anybody could turn the computers around and go, don't record here. And that'll be a loophole for me to not exercise my First Amendment right of freedom of press because you decided to turn your computer around. To loophole around, don't record here. No. It don't work like that. So the little side notes, the little deviations they do on the rules are slick, and you got to watch that. Another thing that gets me, when they say policy, oh, it's a policy, and this policy does not supersede the law. Shout out to Long Island Audit. He always says to the cops, there's a policy in this building you can't record. He goes, are you guys policy enforcement or law enforcement? Because if you're law enforcement, you don't enforce policies. I understand that this building has a policy, but policy, once again, does not supersede my constitutional rights. The only way I believe, I could be wrong, unless it's a judge's order, but that could be a little slippery because it still kind of has to be constitutional. The judge might write an order and say, you need to contact our media department and get a pass. You might have to, you know what I mean? You might have to do an appointment to come and film, which then lets everybody know everybody's on their best behavior. They all act cool, but in reality, they're not. But that's a little weird on our First Amendment. Right, so judge's order is one thing. So policy is policy. Law is law. So that a lot of people come on, they go, oh, the policy. What are you talking? That's not a law. The policy does not beat the Supreme Court, does not beat the Constitution. It does not work that way. And I don't understand how a lot of these people, the cops and the officials, right, that you see come out and go, you can't film here, don't do this. The cops that come out and go, whatever, they're the first ones to go, America, I love America, don't trample on our rights. But the second you film them, they go, bro, you can't do that here. What happened? Yesterday you was yelling blue America. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Put a blue stripe across the American flag, which is a little disrespectful in a way, if you think about it. They love America, but yet they're going to take the flag and put a blue stripe through it to just say, you know what I mean, for my boys in blue, the thin blue line and all that. Hey, man, you were mad that Kaepernick took a knee, but now you out here taking the flag and making it look like something it's not. I get why you're doing it. If I had a steel man, it's like, yeah, it's us against them, which is crazy. But once again, I'm steel manning it. Yeah, it's to let my other cops know, my brothers in arms, we're part of the same unit. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? It's a hard job, whatever. I get it. But all right, if you want to take a knee or if you want to go whatever, why you mad then? Because you're protesting too. That's a sign of protest. No, you changed the whole flag. My homie just took a knee. He didn't even change the flag. Right? Anyway, I digress. So, when it comes to, damn, I lost my point for a second. See what happens? I get it so amped up. This is why I need like 2 hours. I don't know. I forgot where I was. Like I said, this is off the top of the dome. I'll probably remember. I might flow back into it, but who cares? Either way, y'all get my point. The whole thing is, we have our rights for a reason. This is America, the best country on earth. This is America. First Amendment, love. Second Amendment. That's probably the most important amendment, the Second Amendment. Because without that, you could take away all the other ones. Because how are we going to fight back? Feel me? I love the Fourth Amendment. Illegal search and seizures. Fifth Amendment. You already know all the movies. I plead the fifth. Keep your mouth shut. Double jeopardy. Self-incrimination. You don't have to be a witness against yourself. All that other good shit. 14th Amendment. There's a lot of them. The whole thing is dope. Read them all. But I think overall, I ended with this because I'm probably already half an hour in. And this is just something I was working on. We have our rights. Use them. If you see somebody exercising their rights in a respectful way, even not respectful, who cares? They have the right to. I don't agree with them, but who gives a shit? If you see them doing it and you're an official, who cares, bro? If you don't like it, quit. Quit and leave all your little perks behind. The tents, the speeding, the this, the uniform, the I could get a permit pool for my house because I want to get a pool put in the backyard. You don't think the lady in the clerk office even gets the pool inspector to go to her cribby? Yo, listen, this is what I'm saying. I don't care. If I worked at the clerk's office and I wanted to put an in-ground pool, if I look at the inspector and go, yo, my man, just sign off real quick. Go take a drive by to say you did it. Because, you know, the neighbors got cameras and they know I work for the city. They probably going to hate and want to see some paperwork. Let's fill it out. If you see something wrong, just let me know. Don't think I'll fix it. Just give me my permit, B. You mean to tell me I'm not getting my pool put in? Yeah, I'm using all my power. I'm using all my power to get my in-ground pool put in with a fake permit inspection. You don't mean you telling me they don't do that? Yeah, you do. So take your little perks and fucking relax. You see a camera? Relax. I have the right to do it. If I ain't breaking the law, relax. So that's that. Do some research on those amendments if you want to. If not, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ranting here because it's AWOL podcast. And I could do that because it's my shit. You know what I mean? I love all of y'all. Check all that out. Like I said, you already know. It's America. It's the best. Use your rights before you lose your rights. Do it in a lawful way. Try to be respectful. You get your point across better like that. And that's it, man. I love y'all. Stay tuned for the next episode. And I'm out of here. Peace.